welcome. It's me, Percita, and this is Percita's Paradox. Hello, it is Tuesday. We are ready and set and going and ready to do what we need to do to get our lives going. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. And if you are a OG, you already know the drill. Thank you always for keeping it tight and keeping me in an improved state every single day. So always remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and do all those other good things. So now that we've gotten all the rigmarole, the business out of the way, let's discuss what we are doing. I am absolutely psyched because I know coming into April, understanding that we are in spring and we are ready to get going. We are coming in hot. That is what we're talking about today. Coming in hot. Now you might say, okay, Percita, I know the cliche. I understand the colloquialism. Like, what are we saying? What we're saying about coming in hot is the simple premise of we are ready to get our grind on. And I don't mean in this typical sense of like chasing the bag or, going for the money for the people who don't understand what that means. I'm talking about we are grinding, making ourselves top priority for the first time in our lives. Like actually doing everything we want to do to succeed for ourselves, not for anybody else, not for the Instagram pub, not for the accolade from other people, but putting yourself in your list of things to do as the top priority in every single thing that you do. No more excuses. Coming in hot. And when you are coming in hot, you just don't have the time for you to really be in a space anymore of feeling like you have the time to lose. So we have already gotten into our refocus. We understand what we're doing. I'll tag the last video if you are a little behind in what I'm talking about. But I wholeheartedly believe that this COVID panini that has put us all in a place of really having to do more self-evaluation and really making a better judgment call on what you find to be your priorities in life. I would hope at this point, seriously, that you understand that if you are not at the top of your list, if you yourself are not at the top of your list, and you're still telling yourself that you're going to work on a relationship with others or your job or all this other superficial stuff that you have no control over, and you have negated to understand that in the sense of everything that's happening, you are crucial. And the way that you are and feel and be and move and live is crucial to your well-being and your existence, then we need to talk. Then I'm going to ask you to go back and start from video number 1. I think there's 141 videos on this channel. And I propose to you that you go back and look at every single one of them and tell me why it is taking you so long to understand that it is about you. Yes, it's selfish. Yes, it's necessary. But you got to get out of people's business. Stop talking to people who are just gossiping. Gossipers drive me bonkers because they would rather talk about other people than to address anything in their own lives. And let's just be real. At the end of that conversation, not only are you drained, but you feel a certain kind of way because you're trying to figure out if that person talks about you the way they talk about other people. And I'm going to look you dead in this camera and go, yes, my friend, they do. So you don't want to be bothered with that stuff. As I told you in the last video, you want to come in hot. And coming in hot means you only have 12 months in this year. Total. We have already exasperated how many? Do the math. We're in April. So you don't have a lot of time to really try to hone in on yourself anymore in regards to what you can fix for yourself this year. So let's just say you have 2 more months to just hone in on that. It's going to take you another 6 months for you to figure out what you learned and try to perfect it. And I would still tell you it's probably going to take you longer than that, but the faster you get on it, the faster you understand that it is hot, hot, hot. You are a hot commodity. Life is a hot commodity, the better. So things to do. You have to focus on what you're speaking, how you're speaking it, and whom you're speaking it to. We are all about affirmations. Everyone loves to talk about the positive. Everyone wants to express to people when they're feeling positive. Be conscious, even in the way that you post online. If you are feeling fantastic and you feel like, oh my God, this is a great affirmation that I just saw or I want to write, be conscious of the negativity that comes with it. So even before I put out an affirmation, a positive affirmation, I want you to know that I personally pray over it. Now, some people might say, well, Percita, I'm not into the prayer life. I am not asking you to pray. I'm giving you an insight on my life. And what I mean by that is that there is that energy of negativity for the person who is looking at your Instagram or your social media platform just to see you fall. And note that those people are always literally moving, praying, and adjusting to trying to make sure that you just don't make it. And do not believe that that is a joke. There are people in the world who just stay around to make sure you fall. And they don't even show their little nasty faces because they code like that. But do understand that they exist. So when you move and you speak, be conscious of all of the people that are really hoping and praying against you. Be conscious of who you tell your secrets to. Be conscious of who you tell your goals to, right? I mean, you just want to be aware. So many times have I heard people have lost their friendships and have literally felt betrayed by people that they love because they've spoken things that they wanted to do and the person has just taken it from them. And a lot of that, I'm going to say, that is on you as the individual because you're not being conscious of who you are around and what their motives have been. I have a saying that if someone tells me, girl, I am an apple tree, right? And I look at that tree and there's absolutely no apples. I've said this numerous times, and that is not an apple tree, period. You speaking your existence is very different from you living your existence. And I want you to be conscious of who you're talking to, what you're telling them, and then paying attention on if they're living the type of life that can handle your goals or your aspirations or even your thoughts of what it is that you want to do. Because I promise you, if they are not in a space where they are doing better or more, you want to second guess and ask yourself, can they really handle the goals that you have? Because people tend to do things based on what they feel like your pocket can handle. Meaning, have you noticed how comfortable people have gotten with asking things about your money? It kills me right now to hear. And I said this about the election for the last 10 years, how comfortable people have gotten in asking what your political party was and what your affiliations were and who you're voting for. And I'm old school. I remember when that was all a secret. And don't get me wrong, I can play the secret squirrel role, but that's just not something that I thought would be ever a conversation that would just be that adamant. But then I look at the world right now and my God, something as simple as sex, where you could be whatever you want and sleep with whoever you want and identify with whatever you would want to. But now it is literally general conversation to hold on whom you're sleeping with. Male, female, both, cat, dog, whatever, right? So I'm saying, what happened to the identity of keeping some things to yourself? With these stimulus checks, bless them. But it is nothing funner to me than to listen to people who don't know each other actually walk up and ask questions like, so did you get your stimulus check? I find it to be a twofold question. I told a friend of mine, I was like, if the person doesn't know you, for me, I'm just going to look at you sideways like, if I didn't offer that information, it's not something I'm going to give. Two, they're clocking your dollars. Because if you don't know how the stimulus check works, you have to be in a certain bracket of money or less of money, so to speak, in order to even qualify. So when a person asks, as I was telling a friend of mine, I'm like, they're just being nosy and trying to figure out your lifestyle. Typically, they're also asking because they want to know where you are and what you're doing in a way that they shouldn't really be involved. And I'm saying that because we are now so free in talking about things that we don't really have any business saying out loud to people we don't know without understanding what I just said about spirits and principalities and people praying against you and all of the other negative that comes into the world, that you just don't pay attention, that people are in your business and you're putting them in your business. So be careful on what you're saying and whom you're saying it to. Keep it a secret. There's nothing wrong with keeping secrets in that regard. There's nothing wrong with not sharing every single aspect about your life. And who's to say that you have to tell someone if you qualify or don't qualify for the stimulus? That's none of their business. So be very conscious because this has a lot to do with what you're doing and how you're doing it And it tells you a lot about the company that you're keeping if that's a conversation you're holding with people that you don't really feel comfortable in. Number 2, this is a season of taking care of this thing called body, taking care of your body, your temple. You have to find ways to be better in your health aspect and the physical attributes of yourself. When you feel better, when you look better, you do better. You're more conscious of things that are around you and things that you don't want to be around you. So it is crucially important that as much time as I just took in talking about what you're speaking, you also want to make sure you're conscious of what you're ingesting. And yes, we're talking about food right now, but I'm also talking about your thoughts. I'm also talking about the gossip. I'm also talking about the TV shows. I'm talking about anything that can get into your mind. Because if you do not understand that life is not about controlling people, it's about controlling your thoughts. You are in control of your thoughts and how they move, and you cultivate those thoughts by your surroundings and the people that are in said surroundings and the things that you allow into your surroundings. So the first thing that I've learned about myself is that when I feel better, I look better. When I look better, I feel better. They're one in the same. When I am in an aspect of trying to reach my goal, I am conscious of every single thing about my body. Again, from what I ingest to how long I'm sleeping to how much physical attribute I want to put into my day, every single aspect about it. When you think of your life like that, because you are what? You are your top priority on your to-do list, you start to understand how conscious you can be in regards to making things work. And to be perfectly honest, you meditate on more positive things because the meditation naturally comes to you when you're in an aspect of progression and positivity. Now, always remember, I'm going to never ever tell you that you can just speak positive and just be positive just for the sake of being positive. It is still an action word. So it still requires for you to do more than just speak it, right? And more than just ingest it, even though that's an action. Catch that. But it still requires you to do more, be more, push more, drive yourself through to a more effective way of living. And don't get caught up on just any old thing. Don't literally go and find your friend who has been struggling with their weight or struggling with their physical attributes or not really loving themselves or continuously talking about all the things that they're going to fix about themselves, be it cosmetic surgery or not. Don't get me wrong. I am not a proponent against cosmetic surgery, but I'm a proponent of a person who doesn't do anything for themselves while they're waiting on the financial or calendar opportunity to make it happen. You could still be working on yourself while you're waiting on that doctor to have a vacancy or for your money to get right, boo. You still can. So there's nothing about you that should be stagnant. Did you catch that? So in all of that, it's so important for you to be conscious on coming in hot. And then coming in hot, you got to be moving. Hot, think about it. When you think about coming in hot, you are literally barely touching it because it is smoking. And you are trying to get grips of whatever it is that would be coming in hot. Now we are talking about you, and you are the thing that is coming in hot. So I want you to push and really push yourself over the next 6 months to be the absolute best you can be. Take the vacation, spend the money to get the whatever it is that you want to do for once. Do something different and bank on yourself that you're going to be able to literally make it happen without the stimulus check, even though that's fine if that works for you, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Like literally do the work. Do the work. You can do this. You can absolutely make all of your dreams come true. You can absolutely do everything it is you need to do because you're going to be on the top of your list. So before you do anything for anyone else and before you feel any sense of, disjointment from your purpose, you're going to do everything you can this year to get the job done. You're the job. You are the job and you're coming in hot. So you don't have a lot of time. You must make it happen. Remember what we said about procrastination. Well, remember what I said about procrastination. Shuck off of the procrastination. If a person is around you, they're a procrastinator, rebuke that and keep it pushing and get as far away from that procrastination as you can and do what you absolutely can every single day. That is what I'm pushing for, and that is what I am hoping for on this Tuesday. So as always, I get excited talking to you. I'm stoked because I can so feel the energy of the newness, right? Of like this vibe of people ready to do something different. I mean, there's something about being suppressed for a year that really is causing people to understand, like, you do not have a lot of time to be messing around. We are coming in hot. We're going to make it happen this year, and I am super stoked about it. Super stoked. So in all of that, still remember to do the 3 things that this channel is about. Live life authentic. Through it all, no matter what, in face of all opposition, all enemies, all issues, all positive, all negative, live life authentic. Don't allow anything or anyone to take those 3 things away from you. As long as you are doing that, I promise you, life cannot and will not be any better. That is the best you can possibly be. Okay? Okay. So as usual, I will see you on Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day and see you later. Bye-bye.